Yeah.
Well, hello, everyone. This is Debbie Anderson. And if you're a little confused of what's going on right now, I have flipped the chair on the amazing Michelle Drew. You know, she is in the amazing podcast. What would you call yourself? The journalist, the
Yeah.
interviewer, or
Anything.
the brains behind the whole podcast of taking that amazing message or mess, really, and becoming the message. And I get to interview the amazing Michelle Drew today. And what I love about it is everybody's got a story, right? Things happen to people, but it's what you do with it, right? So are you going to be able to help people, or are you going to just sit in your own sorrow?
Mm.
And the fact that you want to celebrate people who have had that mess and made it their message, but at the same time, you have had a mess and that you now have a message. And so I can't wait for you to share that with us.
Yeah, yeah. And it's so funny, Debbie. There's just a small handful of people who know the depth of my mess. And it's been a journey to even decide to come and share it and be open about it. But I feel like if I'm going to be continuing on with this YouTube channel and expecting others to bare their soul, I had to do the same.
Right?
So,
Right.
yeah,
So true, right?
yeah,
Authenticity
yeah. It's the
is the
highest
key.
vibration.
Yes.
Highest vibration.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Um,
Yes.
you know,
And I
so
did not tell you the details beforehand. I know you just texted me. It's like, hey, did you send me your story? I'm like, nope. I want
no,
you to be surprised with the rest of the world.
yeah, and I can't wait. I can't wait. It's kind of like, when you're friends with somebody, but there's a little bit of a secret. I get to find that out with everybody else today.
Yes, yes. And I think that's what's going to make it so fun. You can lift your
Yeah.
jaw up off your chin and go, what?
So nobody look at me, everybody look at Michelle.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I had a huge mess. And I have always put on the good, front and like I'm just fine. Everything's great and it always has been. Well, no, it really wasn't. Not at all. Going back to 2002, I was just on a path of destruction. I was not fulfilled. I wasn't happy in my soul. I just was not there. I was just not there. So I started to make really bad lifestyle choices. Um, you know how I feel about fast food. You know how we both feel about fast food. It ain't
Yes.
food.
No.
Every meal starting in probably January of 2002. And it was just after 9/11, and it could, I mean, that might have lended itself to my funk that I was in and, just feeling like, are we really safe and that kind of stuff. But, I have to own it. It wasn't 9/11. It wasn't anything. It was like how I handled the situation and myself. So I started eating every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Monday through Sunday from a drive-up window. So that was, not nourishing my body. I was losing weight. I just wasn't feeling good. I was feeling icky. And because I was feeling icky, I started numbing myself with drugs and alcohol every single day. Sometimes, and this I've never actually said out loud before, sometimes days on end. And I just was on this spiral and I couldn't seem to get myself out of it. I mean, I would drive around in my car and just do drugs all day with my dog in tow. And funny thing is, looking into my dog's eyes is what actually turned me around, which is crazy, and we'll get to that. But so a couple of months of that, and then we come to April of 2002. My family was like, Michelle, you need to go to the doctor. I couldn't breathe. My chest was heavy. I didn't feel well. I couldn't remember things. I was foggy. Then I started making phone calls that didn't make any sense at all. I had been knocked down a small flight of stairs by a Rottweiler. And I was like, ooh, I must have cracked a rib. So I wrapped my ribs really tight with an ace bandage, which you shouldn't do if you crack a rib anyways. But
Right.
I hadn't cracked a rib. My lungs were filling with fluid. So now you condense the space that your lungs have to live in. They filled up very quickly, but I was still fighting my family. Nope, nope, I'm not going to the doctors. I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, because I knew what I was doing to myself. My family didn't really know. Well, one family member did. And finally, they took me. They were like, "You're getting in the damn car. You're going to the hospital." And the minute they brought me in, I remember a nurse grabbing my arm, and I was like, I grabbed her coat and I was like, "Leave me alone." And she injected me, put me into a medically induced coma right there in the ER.
Wow.
So, yeah, yeah. So, am I blowing your mind yet, Debbie?
Yes.
Yes, I knew
Wow.
it would. Yeah. Yeah. It's like people would never believe that because of the facade that I put on. But, it's when you own your story, nobody can hold it against you. It's so
True.
powerful. So
Right.
powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 weeks in the ICU in a medically induced coma. Um, when they took me out of the medically induced coma and put me on a regular floor for a week, they would come in and weigh me every day, and like take my vitals. And actually, when I was in the coma, the doctors told my family that they did not think I was going to live, that I was just so far gone. They did not think I was going to make it. And if I did make it, I would be a vegetable for the rest of my life.
Wow.
That was their story. It was not mine. Right. So that was the prognosis. And I always say, I hope my sister's not watching, but um, I always say that thank God my brother was my healthcare proxy, because if it was my sister, I might not be here right now. I love her, but she's very practical. She's like, hey, she ain't gonna make it. Let's pull the plug. Let's go home.
Don't waste
I,
your time.
I'm joking, but
Oh,
yeah, I mean they had a very low expectation of what my life was going to look like. So they released me to my family, and I weighed 92 pounds. I could not walk. All my muscles had atrophied 3 weeks. I mean, you have a flu for like a week and you can't walk. You're so
right,
weak.
right.
So 3 weeks, not using my muscles at all. I needed a walker. I needed an oxygen tank, and I weighed 92 pounds. I wore a size 0, and it was baggy. So that's a visual. It was awful. Um, but
And
I
how
had
tall are you?
a 5'4".
Out. Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So
So
imagine
it's
that.
about 45 pounds less than I weigh right now. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was like I was like drawn. It was awful. And I could tell when people looked at me, I felt pathetic.
Mm,
It's like I
okay.
had so much going for me, and I chose to take that road, and I could feel, what they were thinking when they looked at me, and that's fine. I probably would feel the same way. But I was released. My sister, thank God, took care of me, because I couldn't go home and live on my own. I had to learn how to do everything. I had to learn how to walk and talk and use my cell phone and everything, because um, one lung was 100% full, one lung was 75% full. So there was very little oxygen going to the brain for an
Wow.
extended period of time. So,
Right.
the doctors were probably right in saying she's going to be a vegetable. But, the human body and the human soul is very, very resilient.
How true.
And yeah, yeah, exactly. So I started, it didn't happen right away. I was, just on a slow path of like, okay, I'm going to get better. I'm going to do better. I'm going to make better choices. I'm going to learn how to walk and talk and, eat and everything again. And around about, I would say 2005, I was healthy enough to really like re-enter the world. So 3 years. And, but in that time, I didn't do much more than what I knew at that time, how to do better, how to eat better, how to make better choices. And I remember one time when I got out of the hospital, I did foolishly go back to my stupid ass habits. And I was in my car with my dog one day, my Norwegian Elk Scarlet, and I looked in her eyes and I just broke, because I knew that I was responsible for her and for her life and for giving her a good one.
Yeah.
So crazy the things that can get you to turn your life around. So that was my Scarlet.
That what a soul in that dog.
Oh, you have no
To
idea. Yeah,
to that's spectacular.
yeah,
That's spectacular.
yeah. And just the way she looked me in the eye. And
Um,
that I put everything down. I never did another thing from that day on. Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, yeah. So I didn't join any 12-step programs or anything like that. Not that there's anything wrong with those, but that look was all I needed to know. So, I turned around in 2005. I went back to the corporate world of high volume recruiting, which is, what I did my whole career. And it was about 2007, I started to really roll up my sleeves and dig in. Like, how can I be really healthy? Not just, what I know, because we don't know what we don't know. So I dove in, I took courses, I got certified in naturopathic wellness. I took lifestyle medicine classes and gut health classes and leaky gut syndrome. I mean, I'm still to this day, I'm always in a class. And that
Yes,
started
you
in
are.
2007. I'm always in a class.
Yes, you
I
are.
I invest in myself, right? How
That's
am I going
right.
to get better if I don't invest in myself, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And one thing I want people to know at the end of our time here together, Debbie, I'm going to be offering, if anybody wants a list of 13 things that they can do for free, I'm going to make an offer for them to have that, and I'll send it to them, for free.
How how awesome is that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
gosh, why wouldn't somebody say, "Hey,
Exactly.
Michelle, you've been through a lot. You've
Yeah.
learned a lot,
Oh yeah.
and now can you teach me?"
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So fast forward 20 something years later, I was 43 when that all happened. I'm 65 now. So I can tell you right now, I look and feel better a lot more than I did at 43. And it's shocking how resilient the body is, because all
Mm,
the damage I did, I was able to bring it back with effort. It didn't come naturally, but with effort, I was able to bring it back to where we both know Tina Rose. She did my gene snip, my genetic testing,
yeah,
and she told me that at that time, it's not still the case. I think there are a couple better, but she's like, Michelle, you have the best genes of anyone I've ever met. But it's because I was doing the right things and I was tripping my genes in the right direction and not
right.
feeding them to the wrong direction. So yeah, I mean,
And to
yeah,
stop you there,
yes, please do.
how powerful is that, right?
Right.
People do not know that, right? They think, "Oh, it's my genes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my genes," and they accept that, right?
Yes,
Right?
yes, 100%. And of the five people in my family, my parents and my brother and sister, I am the healthiest one. So we all had the same genes. It's just the lifestyle choices that we made in order
Right,
to trip them one way or the other. So
right.
yeah, yeah, for
How
sure.
true is that? How true is that? I
Yeah.
got one question I want to ask. So when
Okay.
you're in that car and you have that moment with your dog,
Yes.
why would you go to such a stressful job?
Good question.
Were you-
Honestly, it was all I ever knew.
okay,
And
gotcha.
yeah, it's all I ever knew. And I knew when I applied, Gilbane Building Company was a fabulous company. And from all the research that I did about them, I really wanted to work there. They had never had a recruiter on staff before. So I think it was a chance for me to prove myself again.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I love that. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that. That's why I wanted to ask that. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
because I'm the same way, right? I want to push myself to
Yeah.
make myself realize. So I get that
Yeah.
100%. I knew that would be the answer.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, right. You have to, when you're all in at that point,
Yeah.
you have to be all in and you just have to push yourself to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's so funny. I'm glad that you asked me that question, because I was with Gilbane for 3 years, had a phenomenal experience with them. Loved it there. Just had made some really great friends. But in 2008, when the economy tanked and the housing market was crazy, they were laying off the people that I had just hired. So I'm like, oh boy, here we go. My name's going to be on that list pretty soon. And sure enough, it was. So after that, I feel like I had proven myself and had proven my worth again. So I never
Right.
went back to corporate America after that.
Good
I've been
for
an
you.
entrepreneur ever since. Yeah.
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 It's, your time with who you want, when you want.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And
That's
I
the
push
most
myself hard. I'm still
Yeah, you do.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, you still do. And that's what's inspiring, right? So that mess, and you pushed yourself up that mountain, right? To
Mhm.
where now you're doing what you want to do and amazing things,
Yeah.
helping change so many people's lives by knowing, okay, so something happened to you.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it? Right. So this is going to open up so many people's eyes to like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
in this little bit of a storm right now.
Yeah.
And look what she did. The simplicity of looking into a dog's eyes and
Yes.
boom,
Yeah. Never ever
Michelle
did it
Drew's
again.
back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Michelle Drew's back. I
Yeah.
that's amazing. And how inspiring is that?
And you know what, Debbie? I look at that experience as a blessing in my life. And
Yes,
I think so many people stay in the mess and stay confused and conflicted. And I look back and I'm like, damn, if that didn't happen to me, I wouldn't be the
right.
human being I am today. I wouldn't
100%.
be as compassionate as I am about people and helping them to live the life that I live today and like vibrant and healthy and go to the gym 6 days a week and not the gym. I work out 6 days a week and I know you do as well. And it's like I would have just kept going status quo from recruiting job to recruiting job because once you staff up, they don't need you anymore. So, I would have kept on that same old path, but it was a blessing in disguise at the time. But, I think that's the key is looking back at your messes, embracing them, and seeing how you can take that mess to help others and be of service to others.
Right. That's the whole goal, right? And I think after people listening to you today, I think you're going to be contacted by several people who have done that, who've been silent,
Yeah.
right? And maybe too insecure about bringing that out to light. I
Yeah.
think you just opened up the
Mm,
heavens for this, right?
thank
And that's
you.
yeah, that's what a unbelievable story. And
Yeah.
you all heard it first, and so did I. And I'm Michelle's friend. But, and what do they say? Keep it quiet till it's time.
Yeah.
And with the great things that you're doing, it was your time.
Yeah.
And,
And
you
I
know,
hope that because I was a tornado. I was a tornado. I was a mess. So if somebody's in a thunderstorm, don't let it get to the point where it's a tornado,
how
right?
true. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Put
sure.
the brakes on. Look for your God wink somewhere, right?
Yes.
Even from your puppy,
Yeah.
look for your God wink, and then, put the brakes on and reach out,
Yeah. I mean,
right?
people had begged me, the people who knew begged me, you've got to stop doing this. You've got to stop doing this. I wasn't motivated. I'm like, whatever, whatever. I was just so in the bottom of the bucket. But my dog, like that look was like that, done, never
Yeah.
went back. Even after I
And
got out of
it's
the hospital, I went back to my stupid ways. But that
yeah.
one glimpse of hope from my dog. And it's amazing. It's
And
amazing.
how many people do that, Michelle? When you said that, you were in the hospital and then you went back to your ways.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know people that's happened to, right?
Yeah.
You want to take the palm of your hand on their forehead, but it's all about, not only did your dog look at you, but then I think that was your dog's way of saying you're worth more,
Yeah.
and you need to realize you're worth more.
Hmm.
So I think that was your moment of, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, I'm worth more than what we're doing here.
Yes. Yeah. My aha moment for sure. For
Absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. No, people have no idea. And training with Nick, it's like if you're going to be a transformational speaker, you have to speak your truth.
Right.
So that's what I will be doing much more. This was my practice stage. Debbie, thank you
Of
for
course.
giving me my practice stage. But Yeah, so if anyone is interested in getting just a PDF, 13 things that I did and you can do to improve your health instantly, many of them for free. I am more than happy to send that out. Just drop me a DM on social media or even send me a text. I'm going to give you my cell number 774-248-4859. Send me a text because I want you to have it. And all I need is your email address and I'll shoot it right over to you.
Isn't that awesome? And you guys are so lucky and blessed today that we were able to do this with the amazing Michelle Drew, who does all these interviewings with people who have had that mess into their message. And now we've got the biggest message out there from the one and only Michelle Drew. So it
Thank
was
you.
an honor that you allowed me to do this for you. And I can't thank you enough.
There
And
couldn't be anyone else,
wow.
Debbie, honestly.
Wow. I'm like,
Yeah.
whew, if I didn't have to sit up here, I would be laying back going, no.
Yep, there was no one else. And I know we were going to do this yesterday and you weren't feeling well. And I'm like, well, there's no one else. So I'm going to
Right.
wait. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love you. You're the
Love you,
best.
girl. Oh my gosh. And wow. So proud of you.
Thank you. Thank
Even
you.
more than like I didn't think I could be.
Thank you so much.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.